The moment I realized my marriage was slipping away wasn't when I saw my wife in another man's arms. It was when she laughed, looked straight in my direction, and kept dancing as if my heart wasn't breaking in front of everyone. She thought she was teaching me a lesson. She never noticed that I quietly turned around, walked through the garden gate, and left without saying a single word. Sometimes love doesn't end with a loud argument. Sometimes it ends with silent footsteps that no one hears. Before we continue, if you believe in kindness, hope, forgiveness, compassion, and the power of second chances, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs encouragement, leave a thoughtful comment, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps these heartfelt stories reach people who may need them most. My name is Nathan, and this happened in Charleston, South Carolina. My wife, Rebecca, and I had been married for 9 years. We weren't the loud, romantic couple everyone admired online. We were ordinary people who had built a quiet life together. I worked as an architect, while Rebecca taught music at a local elementary school. Life became busy, predictable, and sometimes exhausting. Somewhere between mortgage payments, caring for my aging father, and endless responsibilities. I stopped noticing the little things that once made her smile. I thought providing stability was enough. She thought I had stopped seeing her. The invitation was for her cousin's summer anniversary celebration at a beautiful countryside estate. Friends, relatives, and neighbors filled the garden with music and laughter. I noticed Rebecca looked stunning in her soft yellow dress, but before I could tell her, someone called my name to discuss a business opportunity. By the time I turned back, I saw her standing beside her former boyfriend, Caleb, who had unexpectedly attended the event. They hugged politely, and I told myself there was nothing wrong with that. Then the band invited couples onto the dance floor. Rebecca accepted Caleb's hand. At first I smiled awkwardly, believing it would last only a minute. Instead, the song blended into another. They laughed like old friends rediscovering forgotten memories. Several guests glanced toward me with uncomfortable expressions. Then Rebecca looked directly at me while spinning across the dance floor. There was something challenging in her eyes, almost as if she wanted a reaction. She wanted proof that I still cared enough to be jealous. She got something entirely different. I quietly placed my untouched drink on the nearest table and walked away. The drive home felt longer than any journey I'd ever taken. The silence inside my truck echoed louder than the music I had left behind. I wasn't angry anymore. I was simply tired. For months, we'd both been speaking different emotional languages. She wanted attention. I believed responsibility was love. Neither of us realized how lonely the other had become. Rebecca came home after midnight expecting another painful argument. Instead, she found an empty living room and a handwritten note resting on the dining table. I wrote that I wasn't leaving forever. I was staying with my older brother Michael for a few days because I needed time to remember who I was before resentment replaced love. I also admitted something I had never said aloud. I missed my wife long before I walked out of that party. Those few days changed both of us. Rebecca later confessed that dancing with Caleb had been a desperate attempt to make me fight for our marriage. She never intended to humiliate me, but she now understood how deeply her actions had wounded the person she loved most. Meanwhile, I realized that emotional distance doesn't appear overnight. It grows quietly through neglected conversations, postponed hugs, and compliments left unsaid. Instead of blaming each other, we agreed to begin again. We started taking evening walks without our phones. Every Friday became our date night, even if it meant nothing more than sharing coffee on the front porch while watching the sunset. Rebecca returned to playing the piano just for herself, and I learned to leave work at the office more often. We even attended a marriage workshop at our church, where we discovered that healing rarely begins with grand gestures. It begins with honest listening. Months later, another family celebration brought everyone together again. When the music started, I didn't wait for anyone else. I walked across the dance floor, reached for Rebecca's hand, and smiled. There were no jealous games, no audience to impress, and no old memories competing with our future. There were simply two imperfect people choosing each other all over again. If this story has touched your heart so far, please leave a comment telling us where you're watching from, and share one lesson you've learned about love, forgiveness, or communication. Your words may encourage someone who feels alone today. As the final song ended that evening, Rebecca rested her head against my shoulder, and I finally understood something I should have realized years earlier. Love isn't protected by pride or proven through jealousy. It's strengthened by patience, honesty, forgiveness, and the quiet decision to stay when walking away seems easier. And if this story moved you, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who still believes that broken hearts can heal, families can grow stronger, and genuine love always deserves one more chance.